Looking to get started with crypto? Well, this is the video for you. So here's how to get rich on crypto now. Clearly, I'm just messing, but that's what a lot of the headlines are saying right now, which unfortunately means that many people are getting into this game for the wrong reasons. I'll be breaking down the best crypto to begin with, how you can actually generate up to 17% interest through holding cryptocurrencies, and as well as that, how to avoid different scams and losing loads of money. Now, my name's Tickner, and I've been in this game since 2017.
Breaking news, Bitcoin just went under 10,000 in the UK. 10,000 GBP, I know.
The apocalypse is coming.
And at the time of recording, Bitcoin today just hit an all-time high at 67,000 US dollars. And back then, I thought 10,000 was shocking. So lots of crazy stuff can go on in this world, and I want to be able to give you the tools that you need to capitalize on that. So where to start with crypto? Well, you are in good hands. I am not going to be selling you anything. This video is where to begin. So anyone else that's trying to get started, you can send this to them. If you have friends coming at you with questions, you can send this to them as well, because it's going to cover really everything that you need to know, and I'll be going through everything on the screen as well. Now, there is also a document in the description box below this video, or you can just go to laurensfreecourse.com for crypto information and investing information that I will be continuously updating. Now, this isn't financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm here to empower you to educate yourself so that you can make smart decisions and leverage the opportunity that is going on in this world. I don't want you to get scammed. I don't want you to go down rabbit holes that you just don't need to be going down. If we look right now, that inflation has just hit its all-time high in the last 31 years. So rather than thinking, how can I get rich overnight? Instead, I look to how to mitigate my risk. So just like how gold is a hedge against inflation, having a balanced investment portfolio is also a hedge against it. And it's a hedge against being a victim to these central banks that can just keep pumping as much money as they absolutely want to. So we need to think about this rather than just crypto as part of an overall balanced portfolio. So what do smart investors like Warren Buffett do? Well, they have a predetermined portfolio, which they then rebalanced based upon things changing. So let's take an example, and this really is just an example. This isn't how I personally do things, and this is not financial advice. But let's just say you're brand new to crypto, you're afraid of it, so you only go with 25% in crypto, 25% in privately held companies, 25% in property, and 25% in the stock market. Now, once you know that that's how you're going to be allocating your money as a whole, again, just an example, this is not financial advice, then you can take the crypto section and zoom in on that, and then allocate your balance of the different crypto assets. So remember, people often think cryptocurrency means that they're all currencies, but a better term to think about it is crypto assets, because they all serve a different purpose. So again, let's say you're brand new. Maybe you want to put 25% into Bitcoin, 25% into Ethereum, 25% into stable coins, because you know that those three things you can then stake and earn a high interest on them. Because a stable coin is a coin that is pegged to a fiat currency. So remember, a fiat currency is a government issued currency. Now, as I mentioned before, government issued currencies are going down due to inflation, which means purchasing power of each dollar or each pound or whatever is going down. So that sucks. But what you can do is you can actually take those stable coins and stake them. And there's an app which I personally like a lot. It's called Yield app, and it's in my document below in the description box. But essentially, it allows you to make up to 17% interest. So then that allows you to get your feet wet in the world of cryptocurrency, because stable coins are still cryptocurrencies. But then from the interest that you're making, then you could then take that profit, perhaps, just an idea, and then put that into a riskier type of crypto if you so desire. The easiest cryptos to get your hands on right now, Bitcoin, Ethereum, stable coins, really, and then all of those, you can stake them in Yield. I really like that a lot. Now, the other portion, if you were feeling risky, is you could do your own research and take a punt on something. In the last 48 hours, I put some money into something called Cadena, and it went up over $40,000. So then I took that profit, I then invested that into Harmony, and Harmony has since gone up around $11,000. So that's $50,000 of profit. I'm personally choosing to leave it in the market, but I could have taken that out. I could have converted that into USDC, which is the stable coin of the USD, and I could have staked that on yield, and now that could be making interest, right? So when money is in crypto, you can very easily swap it back into stable coins so that then you have that mindset where it's secure, right? Because it's pegged. Now, if you really want to cash it out back into the dollar, then you just put it back on the platform that you were using to buy it, and then you can move it back over into your bank account if you want to do that, right? No judgment. But yeah, so the way that I think about Bitcoin is I think about Bitcoin as gold, right? So back to the trading versus the investing. Again, I do some trading, but that's because I am spending so much time on this. Now, Bitcoin, on the other hand, I don't sell my Bitcoin. I don't use my Bitcoin. I store my Bitcoin because one Bitcoin now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, I believe that's going to go up into the hundreds of thousands, maybe even the millions of dollars. I really, really believe that. And then the other 25%, you may decide that you want to put into smaller cap tokens or smaller cap coins. Okay, a coin is a crypto asset which has its own smart contract platform, such as Cadena or Cardano or Ethereum itself. And then smaller cap are things like the layer 2 solutions, which are built on top of the layer 1 smart contract. Okay, again, if that's confusing to you, make sure to hit subscribe. I'll be doing videos on this in the future. But then when you know that this is how your allocation is going to go, and again, maybe that's not it, right? Maybe you're just going to go 50% Bitcoin and 50% in stable coins, stake the lot, and then you only use the profits from your staking to reinvest back into more riskier assets. Again, it's up to you, right? This is just examples of what to do, but I want to encourage and empower you to think as an intelligent investor. And by the way, that is an excellent book. Some of the stuff there is pretty outdated and only about the stock market. But if you go over to my Instagram, follow me there, and then send me a message saying the word investing, and you'll automatically get access to a document whereby it talks about the best books where I've studied all this stuff from, right? Another one just quickly is also the fiat standard. But anyway, so I really just think it's vital that you understand what's going on in the market as a whole, because if you understood how bad this inflation really is, you would be doing everything you can right now to get that money out of your bank as quickly as possible. Not financial advice, obviously. I swear I'm gonna have to get a t-shirt or a cap that literally says not financial advice on it. And when doing portfolio allocation too, something that I always ask myself is about time horizons, because in the short term, I can see why people think that crypto is risky, because it is very, very volatile in the short term. In fact, this is the Bitcoin chart itself just in the last 24 hours. But then in the long term, I mean, at least me personally, I'm extremely, extremely bullish on crypto, because check out the news today on inflation. So time horizon is just always important to keep on your mind. Gaming the market and trying to time it is, in my opinion, risky business. I just like to think, okay, I'm going to put the money in now, and in 10 years from now, I personally believe that it will be more valuable than if I was to keep that money in a fiat currency. That's my personal belief. And if you don't believe that, then crypto, or any asset for that matter, probably isn't necessarily a good investment for you. And some people, when creating a portfolio, like to also include cash in their overall portfolio. The reason why I personally didn't do that is because the cash that I keep on balance is in USDC or USDT, so it's in a stable coin rather than being in a fiat currency, because personally I'm just extremely bearish when it comes to fiat currency. And so if I know that if I need to liquidate money and turn it into physical dollars or pounds or dirhams or whatever, then yeah, like, okay, I keep a couple grand in that. But for the most part, that's a very, 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 very small portion of my overall net worth that is not even really worth me putting here, right? Because I keep some money in my business to pay my team, but other than that, I mean, I'm just constantly making sure that I'm being smart with my investments. This is my personal beliefs. I want to show you how to actually get rich with crypto the right way. And to do that, you need to understand how the blockchain works. Now, Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, they use blockchain technology instead of centralized databases or instead of technologies that are focused on running on one individual network. So the blockchain is decentralized, and the transactions that occur on the blockchain are irreversible and they are impossible to duplicate, which prevents any different transactions being reported twice. It prevents hackers, and it's governed by computer transactions that are spread out. And these nodes, they are the things that validate or make data void. Okay, so it means that no humans are needed for the blockchain to run. In the future, I'll be doing videos on proof of stake versus proof of work, but to begin with, you just need to know that it's decentralized. Okay, which means that when you put money in, you're putting money in, right? You can't get it back. If you make a mistake and invest in the wrong thing, then it could be gone forever, which is why these educational videos that I'm putting out are going to be so vitally important for you. So please make sure to hit subscribe, because as well in this video itself, I'm going to show you how to get started in crypto in a safe way. So option number one when it comes to getting started with crypto is to go to a centralized exchange and to deposit fiat. Again, I'll show you how to do this. And then when you've deposited the fiat currency, let's say you put some pounds into a platform or some dollars in, then you can trade and buy the crypto of your choice. And again, I will also be going over the best cryptos to begin with. Option number two is to go over to one of these same exchanges and to literally just use your credit card or PayPal to buy the Bitcoin or the Ethereum or the stable coin that you want to get started with. Both options are equally okay to begin with. As you move on and on, I don't necessarily advise using a card and just taking the price that they give you, because there are ways to actually get it for slightly less when you actually enter into trading view. But again, I'm going to be bringing out videos on this as we progress. I don't want to overwhelm you to begin with, right? So please smash that thumbs up. I'm making this digestible for you. Now, once you actually have crypto itself, it's very easy to trade between the different cryptocurrencies. And there's various different reasons why you might want to be doing that, especially if there are various altcoins, altcoins are basically just any crypto that isn't Bitcoin. So they're alternative currencies that may be looking like they're going to do really well, or maybe if they have a protocol that you're interested in and that you like, okay? So with that said, next up is the crypto success strategy. Now, this right here, do I invest in hold or just trade their extreme volatility? That was actually asked to me by a fund manager who worked at the asset management firm where I had my very first ever job. So it's kind of funny how these guys who are in their 60s, 70s, and 80s, who are coming to the girl who quit this corporate job and who everybody thought I was crazy back then, because I was working in fund management, and now they're coming to me asking me how to manage their own funds. I don't know, it's kind of cool. But with that said, obviously it's not financial advice, but to make your own decision, you need to know whether you want to be a trader or an investor. So trading essentially is a profession. It's active, it has a short-term focus, it's basically a job. It's time intensive and it's risky. Now, I'm not saying that I don't do any trading. I personally do a good amount of trading. I enjoy trading. I like spending time on it. For me, it's very profitable time because I know how to read the charts. I understand, for the most part, technical indicators, and I really like it. But that's because I don't have a full-time job. I have businesses and I have teams who run those businesses for me. There's a great saying, and the quote goes, let systems run the business and let people run those systems. Okay, that's what I've done in my various different companies, which is why now I'm talking so much about cryptocurrency. Yes, I'm young, right? I got started at a very young age in the fitness industry. I won't get in my life story, but when I really started my very first business, which was in the fitness space, that was after I had worked in investment management, and I learned a lot about investing. Okay, so investing in my mind is smart money saving. There's obviously the ability to save money in a bank, but why the hell do you want to save money in a bank whereby it's totally centralized. They can choose not to give you your money, which has happened to me multiple times where it's taken days and days and days to get my money out because I've wanted to move money into a crypto exchange, but they have to do so many different questionings and so on and so forth. Yes, of course, it's there to protect you, but ultimately they want to keep your money in the bank so that then they can use that money to loan out to other people, which is how they can make more money. Not only that, but the interest rate right now, at least in the UK, USA, is below 0.5%. But the rate of inflation is significantly higher than that, which means that every single day that money is sat in your bank, you're losing money. Okay? I'm not making this stuff up. This is factual information, right? So if you actually go over to my Instagram, which is just at Lauren Tickner, and send me a message with the word investing, I have this massive long document which shows all the information about the history of money, inflation, the current economic crisis that we are in right now, information about the PE Schiller ratio, and stuff which is pointing to a massive recession coming. And I want to show you how to mitigate your risk and then have different assets that can produce you money and give you a significantly higher rate of return. Okay, so I'm just here because I'm in your corner and I'm extremely passionate about this stuff. Now that you know that for the most part you're going to be an investor, right? Then it comes down to, okay, so what should you actually buy to get rich? This is the biggest question that I get asked. Where shall I put my money so that I can make loads of money right now? And I want to say that that's a really dangerous mindset to have. Yes, there's a lot of hype. Yes, you see these coins like Shiba Inu where a guy put in $80 and then about a few weeks or months later, he's now got 5 billion. But at the end of the day, that's very, very rare, and don't count on the fact that it's going to happen to you. It's kind of like when you go into a casino and you just have a bit of cash and you're just like, okay, I'm just going to chuck this on this because my friend told me to. It's kind of like when I go to the casino and let's say I'm at the Wynn in Vegas. I walk in, I head over to the roulette table. And I remember that one time my dad told me whenever he goes to the roulette table, he puts his money on the number 26 and the surrounding corners. So guess what I do? Whenever I go there, that's the one strategy that I know. Kind of like it might be the one coin that you've heard of, and then you go there, you put your money on it, but you know nothing about the game, any other strategies, nothing. It's just total gambling at that point, okay? So this is where educating yourself on blockchain, on actually how does it work, on the overall market as a whole is so important, and I want to empower you to be able to do that. Bitcoin and Ethereum, that's what my next video is going to be about, the difference between the two. Ethereum is a smart contract. This is what I'm particularly bullish on. And so smart contracts, think about it like this, right? There's different layers to them. So a smart contract is basically like, let's say you have Android and you have iOS. Well, on Android and iOS, multiple different apps can be built on them. So Ethereum actually has a lot of utility because it's like Android, right? There are many apps. Now, iOS as well, that could be something like Harmony, right? Where there's lots of stuff being built on that too, or Solana. Now, all of these different things differ from Bitcoin because Bitcoin is primarily used because it's extremely secure due to the way that the blockchain is built, right? It's built on the proof of work model, which I won't get into now. It just basically means it's really decentralized, which means it's really secure. So Bitcoin's real purpose is store of value. Ethereum and the smart contracts, they are more for utility, which is why actually right now they're being more widely used. There's a lot more transactions and activity actually occurring on them. Whereas Bitcoin, you can see that the volume of Bitcoin actually out there liquid in the market is going down, which means that, of course, if we just look at a simple demand and supply graph, that the price is going to be going up even more due to the lack of supply. Anyways, so that's kind of what I would do if I was getting started. Bitcoin and Ethereum I see as super safe personally, stable coins too. And then because then you're new, you're getting started, you can just get a bit of confidence to then move into the further altcoins. And I'm going to be posting so much content about altcoins. So that's why there's no rush to get into them right now. Just use this information that I'm giving you here as you like, but don't rush into altcoins just because your friend told you, right? It's just basically gambling. So with that said, okay, so where should you buy and hold? Now, if you actually head over to CoinMarketCap, I'll show you this right here. So if we go over to CoinMarketCap, you can see that I've got Cardano pulled up here. Nice. I'm heavy in Cardano, so it's good to see that it's up a lot today. But any crypto that you want, you can just go ahead and type it in here. Maybe you want to get Harmony, right? Just actually, let's just go USDC, just for simplicity. So, okay, USDC. Then you could go on, and these, they don't go crazy up and down, right? Because they're pegged to the dollar. They're just following whatever the dollar's doing, all within this small range. But then if you click on market, then you can actually see all the different places that you can buy it. Now, the cool thing that I'm going to be doing for you is actually on the document below is I'm going to be adding where I'm seeing these rewards and bonuses. So right now in the document below, only for the couple of weeks after I upload this video, there's a platform which is giving you up to $3,000 bonus just for depositing fiat currency into their platform. Okay, so let's say you were to put in $10,000 into the platform, and then you just straight away turn that $10,000 into USDC. Well, then you're going to have 10,000 USDC because it's pegged to the dollar. But you'll actually get a bonus as well, which you can then use to reinvest as you like. And so any of these offers that I find, I'll put them on that document below. Again, I'm not going to be doing any paid courses about crypto, just all going to be for free. So if I use affiliate links, they will have a kickback to me. But at the same time, I'm going to be sharing with you the best offers. And so rather than rushing to Coinbase, where they are literally going to rinse your ass in fees, and I know it may seem like it's the best option and the easiest thing to do right now to go to Coinbase, but let me tell you, if you could spend 5 minutes figuring out a slightly more complicated platform, which then saves you tens, hundreds, or even thousands of dollars or pounds, yen or euros in the long term, would that be worth it to you? Because at the end of the day, let's say you spend $100 extra on fees because you're using Coinbase, because their fees are so high. Well, then that $100, let's say it was to then go 10x or 11x, like you see my Cardano just did. Well, that means that you also just lost an additional $10. And then that additional $10, well, then you would have had $110 because of the compounding rate. And then that $110, that can't be compounding in the market. Okay. So you got to remember, any fees are fees that now can't be compounding in the market. It's not just the fees that you're losing, it's the compounding results off of those fees. That could have been $100 that you chucked into Dogecoin and hope that it goes to Mars, right? With Elon. So with that said, you can always check CoinMarketCap to see where to buy things. I always use CeFi, so that's centralized finance platforms, to buy the main ones, right? Now you'll see that when you go into CoinMarketCap, if you're doing a look, these things here, basically, when you click on that, that will actually take you over to a DEX tool. Okay, so a DEX tool is basically a swapper. It's a decentralized exchange tool. All right, now these things can get kind of confusing. I'm going to be walking you through them in the future. If right now your level of understanding of crypto isn't already extremely high, I just say that it's much safer just to stick to the things that are listed on the platforms, the centralized platforms. So head to that first link in the description box. Just know though that I, like on the screen right now, will always be updating the first core native version of that document with different offers that are on. And then, like I said, if you want to hold it in a smart way, interest platform, there's a lot of talk about cold storage and putting it on a hardware wallet. If you're just holding, a little bit of money, in my opinion, it makes more sense just to keep it in yield up, right? Because if it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, or stable coins, it's then compounding interest, right? And these are things that you're not going to be trading all the time. Now, it's silly to hold your crypto on an exchange unless you're actively trading that crypto right now. The moment that you decide, okay, I'm done with trading for a bit, get it off there and put it into a high interest account or cold storage. Okay, super simple. Again, links in for all of this stuff in that document. And with that said, I mean, look, these are the fundamentals to get started. Altcoins I'm going to be talking about in next videos. I'm going to be talking all about how to actually spot the indicators as to whether or not something's good or bad to buy. Is something a scam? How can you go? Like, I'll do entire walkthroughs of these entire platforms, showing myself live investing in things at that exact moment. I really, really want to make this simple for you. Remember, this isn't financial advice, but I would say at this point, with regards to where you're at, in my opinion, in the long term, this is just going to go crazy and absolutely parabolic. I mean, I really, really, really wish that back in 2017, when I made that first podcast, I'd been already into it for months and months and months, even maybe over a year. and I wish I'd have went more all in, but there was such a small amount of adoption in the overall market. Now everyone's talking about crypto. Big institutional money hasn't even started going into crypto. I am so incredibly bullish. All the most wealthiest and successful people that I know are getting into crypto now, even if they were afraid about it before. Now they're getting into it. I met a billionaire on a flight a while back now, and we were chatting, and at the beginning of the conversation he was super anti-crypto, and then it turns out that the reason why he was so anti-crypto is because he hadn't done his research. Okay, that's very common in this market. So do your own research. This is really, really the fundamentals and the best places to get started. I'm not going to give you any short-term schemes. I'm not going to be selling you any courses. If there are courses that I'm doing, I'll let you know, but I'm not going to try and pump any courses. I am here to educate and empower. I am not here to compete. I'm here to share with you the things that I'm doing, that I'm seeing success with, and because I think that ultimately, my two core values have always been freedom and fulfillment. And I'm so grateful to be in a position now where I really have achieved financial freedom. With my savings, I could never need to work another day in my life, and they keep paying me again and again. I don't really spend a crazy amount of money. I don't feel the need to do that. But if I want to buy nice things, I can, right? And so for me, this is just fun. It's exciting and it's important. And it's so important, this education. I can't even tell you. And as well as that, there's a lot of really cool crypto projects out there that unfortunately aren't getting the attention that they need because the people who are running the projects are extremely, extremely technical. And so I'm hoping as well that some of this content is going to empower them to take their super complex stuff and put it more into layman's terms so they can get it in the hands of the people that need it. Okay. So with that said, the projects that I'm super interested in right now are obviously, Bitcoin and Ethereum. I will always be a true believer in that. And also as well, just any cash that I want liquid so that I can make any trades as quickly as I need to get new positions on different projects that I see are up and coming. That's why I hold a lot of stable coins at any one time. But at the same time, the projects that I'm the most bullish on, really, it has to be smart contracts. So Cadena, Harmony, I'm going to make videos about in these ones individually, Cardano, Link as well, AVAX. All of these, Polkadot. I love the fact that they are essentially like Android or iOS that you can build on top of, right? And so everyone's always like asking, well, which one's gonna win? They all have different utilities, right? It's not like it's not like one's just gonna win. For currency, that's an interesting play. That isn't necessarily, it's funny because it's cryptocurrency, but the main utilization is actually for just, amazing things like being able to have totally transparent charities where you can see where the money is actually going. There's a lot of talk about NFTs. Again, attention follows what is going on when it comes to the everyday retail investor. And so a lot of people are talking about NFTs right now. My focus really is smart contracts. Now, on smart contracts, you can obviously build NFTs on top of that. When I'm investing in a smart contract, I look for projects which involve NFTs because I know that retail are pouring their money into NFTs. So I want to get my money into a platform which is a load of money's flooding into, right? Simple demand and supply. If we have our graph and if the demand is going up, despite the fact that there is indeed an inelastic supply, right? So that's the supply here. Well, then that means that as the demand shifts from D1 to D2, right? Good old economics 101, then it's pretty simple. The price is going to go up. Okay, so it's going to go from P1 down here all the way to P2, which could give you a nice juicy pump. Now, with projects that are smart contracts, I am aiming to put content out early, which will allow you to ideally buy the bottom. Not financial advice, but that's the rules of the game. Now, I know something that a lot of people is going to be asking is, what's the tax on crypto? Now, I live in Dubai. There is no tax here in Dubai. I have an entire video about setting up a business in Dubai. I know some people who have specifically opened up companies here in the United Arab Emirates, whereby they did that just so that they can put their crypto through that. Again, this is not financial advice. Seek a financial consultant if you're interested in that. But if you want to explore that option, I will leave a link to an application form in the description box below if you are interested in potentially setting up a company for that, right? If you're doing some serious volume. So look into your own tax rules. Obviously, if you're in the US, UK, they're pretty hot on this stuff. So just as a recap, number one, what are you going to do? Well, that's where you need to put fiat into a platform. Okay, so what platform you choose, I will put the best ones linked in the document, which is below, or just go to laurensfreecourse.com. It will redirect you there, and I'll be creating a bank of content, the core crypto and investing content in general. Okay, so you deposit your fiat currency, that's government backed currency. Step number 2, okay, then once you've got your government backed currency, then you're either then going to convert that into your crypto, right? Whatever crypto you choose. Okay, so whether that's a stable coin, whether that's Bitcoin, whether that's ETH, or whatever it happens to be. Okay, then from there, in my opinion, it makes the most sense to use something like Yield App to stake it. Okay, this is what I would do if I was brand new and getting started. And then from there, then that money is essentially put away, locked safe. You can liquidate it whenever you need to. But the cool thing is then you can start making gains on the crypto. Now, this is what I'm doing. It's not financial advice, but then from there, once you've seen, the money starts to compound, it's better than the money in the bank that's just sat there doing nothing. Then you can start taking these things or further fiat currency that you have here, right? And then looking into more altcoins, which I will be posting content about. So with that said, again, none of this is financial advice. I really want to make that clear. None of this or any of the content that I will ever be posting is financial advice, okay? Please make sure that you understand that. But I'm here to support you and educate you. And I really love making this content. So I look forward to empowering you. Again, please share this with someone who could do with this content. And I look forward to serving you.